Good morning, Dr. Annie Paklar Hakalan. Also to my fellow classmates, good morning. We are the group 2 and we will be reporting regarding Judaism, and I ask for your attention to listen and watch the presentation that we prepared. Before anything else, allow me to introduce myself. I am Regolene Cañete Estrasas. Remember that Judaism is the name of the religion and its followers or adherents are the Jewish people. In 2007, the world Jewish population was of 13.2 million, 41% of which reside in Israel, while the remaining is spread around the world. Jewish history begins with a covenant established between God and Abraham around 1812 BC, during the Bronze Age in the Middle East. Abraham is a central figure in Judaism, being considered the patriarch and progenitor of the Jewish people. Under God's guidance, the Jews became a powerful nation with kings such as Saul, David, and Solomon, who built the first temple. Subsequently, this was the site around which Jewish worship was centered. Throughout their history, Jewish people experienced times of great expansion and advance in knowledge. This religion is rooted in the ancient Near Eastern region of Canaan, which today constitutes Israel in the Palestinian territories. Judaism is an Abrahamic, monotheistic, and ethnic religion comprising the collective religious, cultural, and legal tradition and civilization of the Jewish people. And that's my introduction of the Judaism, to have some knowledge about their holy places, which is to be tackled from the second reporter. Let's listen to John Ibiola.
So that is the introduction of Judaism that you hear from Ms. Gilin. By the way, I'm Junri Ibiola, and now I will going to tackle about the holy places in Judaism. I will give two examples of the holy places that are commonly known in Judaism, which is the Temple Mount and Western Wall. So this is the picture of the Temple Mount. Temple Mount is the holiest place in Judaism. It is believed that direct communication took place between the high priest and God on this sanctified site. Rabbinic sages state that it is at the Temple Mount that the foundation stone of the universe was laid before the world expanded. It is further said that the creation of worldly features was done here, including the first man Adam, from dust in the mountain. The Western Wall. The Western Wall was initially erected by Herod the Great to expand the second Jewish temple in Jerusalem. The site is considered holy because it is connected to the Temple Mount. The wall is the holiest place accessible to Jews for pilgrimage and prayer, since entry to the Temple Mount is restricted. That is my discussion about the holy places of Judaism. And now, you will learn something from the symbol and Judaism sacred text, which is to be discussed by Miss Christine May.
My name is Christine May Krauses, and today I'm going to talk about Judaism symbols and Judaism secret texts. The main symbol of Judaism is the Star of David. It is recognized as the symbol of Jewish community and is named after King David of ancient Israel. Here's the example of Star of David. And next is the sacred text. In sacred text, Torah is the common used sacred text in Judaism. Torah is the Pentateuch, or the five books of Moses, which tell the story of the creation of the world. And here's the example of Torah. And that's all for Judaism symbols and Judaism sacred texts. And the next reporter would be Grizel Ferrer.
So I'm Rizal Ferrer. You hear from Christine the symbol Judaism sacred text. And now I will tackle the rules and norms of Judaism. So there are 10 commandments written in the Torah. So here are the 10 commandments. First is worship no other God but me. Is that nothing else can qualify as God in your life. The true God is not only to be number one, but the only one. Second, do not make images to worship. In Judaism, this was prohibited because no aspect of the creation could adequately stand in for God. Third, do not misuse the name of God. The name of God was so profoundly sacred that the Orthodox Jews would not pronounce it in the normal conversation. Fourth, observe the Sabbath day. Observing the Sabbath shows our commitment to honor and worship God. Fifth commandment,
Honor and respect.
your mother and your father. Honor your mother and father, that your days may be long in land, and the Lord your God is giving you. The sixth commandment, do not murder. The murderer and those who commit voluntarily in murder commit a sin that cries out of heaven for vengeance. The seventh commandment, do not commit adultery. There shall be no intercourse with a woman without previous marriage with a deed of marriage and formal declaration of marriage. The ninth commandment, do not bear false witness. Speaking falsely in any matter, lying equivocately, and do any matter devising and designing to deceive our neighbor. The Ten Commandment, do not covet, means that we should banish our desires for whatever doesn't belong to us. So that was the Ten Commandments. Thank you. That was the Ten Commandments of Judaism. And now, let's proceed to the next reporter who will be reported by Sarah Jane Gaabon.
My name is Sarah Jane Gavan. This picture is the one of the example beliefs of Judaism people. Believe in God and praise it heartedly. Jewish people believe that God is a creator and absolutely ruler of the universe, and only one powerful God. One God is a creator of the world has fairly selected the Jewish people for a unique and covenantal relationship with himself. That's for Judaism beliefs. Let's proceed to the tradition of Judaism to be discussed by Miss Riza May Fuentes.
My name is Rizame A. Fuentes, so that is norms and rules of Judaism. And now you learn something about Judaism tradition. Rosh Hashanah is one of Judaism tradition. Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year. The festival begins on the first day of Tishrei, the seventh month of the Jewish calendar. Apples and honey is one of the most popular. Eating apple slice dipped in honey, sometimes after saying a special prayer, ancient Jews believed that apple had healing properties and the honey signifies the new year will be sweet. That's all Judaism traditions. To have some knowledge about scriptures, which is to be tackled to the next reporter. Please listen to Christian Dave de Bosora.
Thank you, Ms. Fuentes. Before I proceed, let me introduce myself. I am Christian P. Busora, and I will discuss the Tanakh and Talmud, which belongs to Judaism scripture.
The Tanakh. The Tanakh consists of 24 books. These books are also found in a different order in the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. So, there are three sections of the Tanakh. The three sections of the Tanakh is the Torah, instruction or law, also called the Pentateuch, Nevi'im, prophets, and then the Ketuvim, writings. That is the three of section in the Tanakh. The Talmud. The Talmud contains rabbinic teachings which interpret and expand Torah law to make it relevant to the daily life of Jews. In the first 5 centuries CE, rabbinic tradition as laid down in the Talmud is also referred to as the Oral Torah. So that's all. Thank you.
First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Charles Emil O. Francisco, and I will give a short summary about the topic that my group mates talked about, Judaism. Judaism is a monotheistic religion developed among the ancient Hebrews. Judaism is characterized by a belief in one transcendent God who revealed himself to Abraham, Moses, and Hebrew prophets, and by a religious life in accordance with scriptures and rabbinic traditions. Judaism is the complex phenomenon of the total way of life for Jewish people, comprising theology, law, and innumerable cultural traditions.